Hello, my name is Stephen Wright. I'm a career coach here at Career Mentor, and we help high-performing financial services professionals make their next smart career move. So if you're a regular viewer of our videos, then it's great to see you. And if you're new to these videos, then of course you're very welcome too. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about some common errors that people can make when they are writing and creating their CV. And it's really all about making it very easy for the reader of your CV to rapidly get the information that they want to see how close a match you are for what they're looking for as easily and as quickly as possible. I think there's 5 errors that we can look at, and we'll also be talking about how to overcome those errors as well. The first is format. When someone scans rapidly through your CV, it helps them if they are working with a format that they are familiar with, because then they know where to go. If you use an unusual format, you are slowing them up and you're making that job slightly more difficult. And of course, we want to keep the reader engaged. So by using a classic format, you're going to be helping yourself. Here at Career Mentor, we use what's called a reverse chronological CV, where you have your name and your contact details at the top, followed by a paragraph, which is your professional statement that summarizes the value that you can offer. And then you go to the career history, which is written in reverse chronological order. So you start with the job that you currently have or your most recent job, and then work back in your professional history. And then you have the last section, which of course is qualifications and education. By having that very familiar format, you're making it easier for the reader to get to what they want. The second point is, one mistake that people can make is that they have blocks of text which are tightly written, and they're a little bit forbidding and also impenetrable, and the reader will be thinking, it's going to take me time and effort to make my way through this large block of densely written text. So the way in which we can overcome that is by using judiciously using bullet points and spacing and paragraphs, really just to make sure that the information is all the more accessible, and it's just easier on the eye as well. That point then leads into the next point, number 3, which is about the construction of sentences. I suggest that what you want to avoid is having long multi-clausal sentences which are quite complex in their structure, because that again will slow up the reader. Rather than doing that, have short, punchy sentences with no commas and semicolons, but just a short, punchy sentence. And if you can't fit everything that you want to say into that particular sentence, then put in a full stop and start a new sentence. And that style, I think, is a little bit more accessible. The next point is that we want to make sure that your CV is as close a match for what is being looked for by the reader as possible. If you have a job spec, then look carefully at the language that is being used in that job spec, and then use similar language in your CV. If there is no job spec, then you can get a similar view or idea of the way in which that company, what the language that company uses by reading their website. You can in fact go further and not just have a match with the languaging, but also, and this is perhaps a little bit more tricky, but also the tone that is adopted, the tone that is communicated. So if you're able to match that tone as well as the language, then that's a great place to be. The final point is on making sure that you have a copy ready to go. And what we suggest is that you have a master copy, which is a very full version of your CV, so that when you are applying for a specific role, or you're following up with a specific job that you've seen posted online or whatever it may be, you take a copy of that original master copy, and then you edit and adapt that copy that you're going to send to shorten it, to make it a little bit more appropriate and matching the particular job that you're following up on. So those are those 5 points. I hope that you found that useful. I'll be putting the blog that I wrote about this in the comments below, and thanks very much.